Okay, it's Christina Merkley, and we have our process pop-up. I'm just looking to see what the date is, the 18th of March, past the Ides of March. We're going to slip right into meditation for 10 minutes, and then we'll see what's present in the container today and co-create together. Let me mute myself and stick on my timer. See you in 10 minutes. Okay, welcome, welcome. It's nice to sit in stillness together. Thank you. Welcome, Susan. I see you joined us. Cool. Yeah. So we just find ourselves as we come back from meditation, just taking your time. And we'll find our way to reports, any happenings in your unfolding process, inner work and awareness and developments, and then anything that's arising. And we just find our way. Each time it's spontaneous. It's different time in the world, different people who drop in, different things that are up. So we'll just see what's present today. And I've got the big drawing tablet here. So it's a visual song in a way. So just draw things out and use the different processes that we have available to do so. And we can take it in whatever order wants to happen.
I have some good news.
Oh,
I
good
had
news.
a job interview yesterday.
Yay, Susan. Yeah. Great, so wonderful.
That's to be like a support worker for people who are just newly homed, like, you know, when they take homeless people and then they give them an apartment. Then after that, then they get referred to me, and then it would be making sure they have a doctor, they pay the rent, all the sort of stuff they need.
Wonderful. Congratulations. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like you're feeling very good about the interview. You're beaming. Yay.
Yeah. It was a good interview. And
nice.
So we'll see, but they still have other people to interview, of course. And I phoned the gal ahead of time to say, should I even apply? Because I'm a nurse and I'm not a social worker. And then she said, well, it's not specifically social work, but I just explained it. So I tried to convey how my skills would apply. But anyways, it was good. So I'm happy. I'll hear at the end of the month.
Cool. Wonderful.
Yeah. So good for me.
Yay.
All good.
Good news is welcome here. Yay. Your song will be delighted. I hope you could find your way into the Ning and let them know. Yeah. Or see what unfolds with this. Yeah. But I'm sure they're out of girling you. Out of wominging. Yeah. That's awesome. And the shift at spring retreat as well. Correct, Jill. Yeah. Jill remembers you from there, obviously, Susan. So has the context. Yay.
I do remember you, and you look so different. You're so bright. And yeah. That's great. It's great to hear you talking about the opportunity. Yeah. I can go next. I have some updates in terms of consciousness, since that's the invitation. The last couple of days have pulled me really deep inside, and I've had the space to do it, so I've just gone deep, and it really feels like there's this really big sort of monumental upgrade to the nervous system, and I'm being guided into working on myself, doing some trauma work and healing, and reading more about healing and trauma, and boundaries work and things like that. But in my alpha mind, it's like this whole new layer is opened up, and this like level of communication with aspects of myself that are way beyond my human understanding. And it's like the human part of me, what I'm being shown, what I'm being asked to do is there's this almost like this sort of I was given this heart. It almost looks like a shield, but it's also kind of has wings. So there's this energetic thing I've been given. And then also this instruction around unity consciousness and how that's what the aim is. And then there's also like permissions to really to clear away this mental construct of this sort of fear-based system. So
Yes, please.
it's quite powerful. And
Individually and collectively. Yes,
yeah,
please.
I can see it like in the psychic energy, like I've been drawing some images of it, and so it's like dismantling this sort of fear and construct. And I mean, every time I do a pass through this sort of this thing, it's like a complex. I just feel so much energy. So it's quite powerful and quite startling. Just wow. So yeah, that's my check-in.
I'm going to follow up with what Jill was just saying. I felt the energy kind of open up in myself as I connected to what you shared, and to feel that kind of connection was good. I could even just kind of feel my fear to speak kind of lessened at this very moment that you spoke about how your fear was something that was almost like an energy that you were sort of clearing away the fear, and the energy was coming and so forth. And so I really appreciated that. That's what I needed to share, sort of what I'm doing and have been for like 2 years since the pandemic, of course, started. It seems that the whole energy shifted in the universe, and I could feel that happening before the pandemic in my personal life and my personal journey. But the sort of underlying of ridding myself of fear through being in the moment and making space, that thing of space is big. I listened to Eckhart Tolle a lot during the time before the pandemic, and I'm not exactly like a new age mindset. I have more traditional sort of beliefs, but as I would sort of follow his meditations, I understood the concept of space, and to heal, in order to heal a bunch of my own personal trauma from childhood that has been a permanent fixture through my whole life. I couldn't open space for that healing until I meditated 2 or 3 times with his words coming in about space and acceptance. And when I started to really find the sanity in accepting my own situation, there started to be this space, and it made a place for me to change and shift. And yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the most important part of it for me, was making space. But I just continue with that process and feel the energy and things happening in my life that are now something that could never have happened without making space.
My Sasan teacher often uses the phrase, grace is on the case. So just the bigger intelligence at work, right? Good luck, bad luck, who's to say, in the bigger picture. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
You may have seen Pat popping in. She's my admin assistant. So there's a problem with the reminder that went out. So she's just checking to see if some of you made it in here from a link from probably 2 days ago, not today. Yeah. She's going to resend it. So we may have some others flood in here. We'll see. So wonderful reports to see what's been happening and what's been unfolding, and some similarities and synchronicities amongst us. I can certainly relate, Jill and Evelyn, to what you're saying, and Susan, your form, right? What's happening fits right in there, even if at more of that esoteric level, you might not resonate or connect with. So what's up now? What's arising now? What do we enter into together? As I blow my nose, I have really bad allergies right now with the trees. Sorry.
I think that I'm entering into more of the same growth pattern, that I continue to like welcome this kind of space where I can actually not be as self-conscious, but more just able to be myself, be okay with making mistakes, if that's what it is, a mistake, who knows, just by, you know, kind of feeling more free. Thankfulness.
Yes, please. Let's go right into this. So I've just, Evelyn, I'm not sure if you've seen it before with the drawing tablet and stuff. So
Okay.
I just shared my screen, so you'll see, and hopefully others will see too, this drawing program. I've got a big Wacom Cintiq here, a big drawing tablet. And then there's what you're seeing is the software program. And I think we're going to just slide right into inquiry. So there's a longing or desire here, or a resonance with what you're experiencing, and a desire for yes, please. Like, that'd be nice, more of that. Before we go into it, I'd like to get I'm going to be drawing and writing out as we meet consciousness through the form of you, various things. I need a color from you. Is there any sort of color that you'd like as a backdrop to what I'm going to draw?
Maybe blue.
Okay. That can be arranged. And do you have any preference on a color on top of that for writing or drawing?
Red.
Okay. So I'm just going to draw a little cloud here, just to kind of capture, because there's been several things that you've shared here so far, and these are just like little bulleted points or something. So to try to resurrect them all wouldn't do them justice. So I just kind of draw them like that. And just, you may have been in satsang before. I'm just going to offer some different phrases. And I think of it as we've got since we're digitally here all over the planet, maybe, that there's a coffee table amongst us. So I'm just going to lay these phrases on the coffee table, up to you about whether you pick them up, and you just kind of apply them within. And then usually you're the reporter. You're going to let me know what's going on over on your side, right? How it unfolds for you. So with everything you've just brought to the table here, we're just going to welcome it. You're welcome here. Yes, please. A lot of it was yes, right? Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yes.
And then just see as you're welcoming it and agreeing with it, and we like this, yes, please. And there was a longing in there that was articulated. Just see what happens as you meet it all and say yes to it. Anything you notice from there?
I guess I would notice that that I would be more free to be who I am without this overly conscious thing I've had my whole life of really harsh, criticizing myself and never being good enough and never being right. And like it's a paradox, because I do all this work and still don't find like that satisfaction of being confident. So,
Okay, good. So I'm going to put satisfaction of confidence in here as well. Okay, we've got the polarities emerging. So out of a history, right? I'm sure a lot of us can relate to this, of personal history, ancestral collective could be in there too, of harsh criticism and never good enough and never right. And what's now emerging is the more free to be who I am and a satisfaction of confidence in that. So just welcoming that. Yes, please. Yes, please. And even because there's been a configuration in you, which is common for many of us, right? Of that criticism and not good enough, not right. It's kind of retracting, you've said, especially during the space of the pandemic, and that's been retracting and kind of getting smaller within you, within your field and your relationships to that. And then with that space, this other side is emerging of free to be who I am, and that confidence and satisfaction. So we're just, it already knows, but we're even like reminding it even more strongly. You can take up space, you can stretch and rise up, root down. It'll know, right? If it wants to take up more space, now that there's space, how it wants to do it. So just softly inviting the stretch, right? For freedom to get bigger and for satisfaction to get larger and confidence to kind of take up more room.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I have started attending in about the last year a writing group. I like to write, and I feel like I have things to say that would be really helpful because they've been helpful to me, and I don't always see other people with exactly the same information. And so now, like, instead of judging myself harshly as don't share that, I feel like I can say, okay, if there's space here, I can maybe write a book someday, but I don't want to feel pressured to do that, because it's almost like if the universe wants a book about something, it's going to happen anyway. But yeah, I want to be part of it because, of course, I want to connect and have purpose in community, you know?
Good. So there's a couple more that have showed up here. So let's get connection and purpose down. Okay, so as freedom and satisfaction and confidence started to stretch, it met the writing group. So we're just going to say, oh, hello, writing group. You are welcome here. And then that expression, right, whether it's a book or whatever it ends up being, it is welcome here. And so is that connection and purpose of how that the writing serves, right? That connection and purpose in the group. So just welcoming all that. Yes, please. Good idea. We like that.
Yes, that's interesting. I like to see it written because I'm visual. I am an artist and I paint, and that visual is good.
Yes, please. Yeah. And same thing with connection and purpose, just like you did with freedom and satisfaction and confidence. Now there's more space in the system. It's like, you are welcome here too. You can stretch, stretch, rise up, root down, expand in a million directions, whatever your pleasure is. And anything you notice now, sometimes yeah buts might kick in, or complaints or stuff, or sometimes it's just free stretching, right? There's nothing in the way and you just can expand.
Timing is really important.
Hello, timing.
I don't want it to be fast or slow. I want it to be just right. I don't want it to be stressful, because that's what my whole life has been.
Right.
I'd like to freedom from stress, and if it's going to happen, I want it to be a natural progression and helpful for people, not just something to do.
Okay, excellent. Yep. So some other companions have come to satsang here. So now we've got right timing. And natural progression. Yes, please. Good idea. Let's join the team. As opposed to stress. There's a note just with the stress, and that in there is habitual conditioning, right? There's a known relationship with stress. So we just want to do a little nod and a little bow and honoring of the personal history around stress. And also probably a recognition that some of that would be coping stuff, right? Defenses or coping mechanisms, and some of it is going to be you, and some of it is just going to be human being stuff and tribe stuff from family. So
Yeah.
just ends like survival. So we want to honor that, like, even though you're wanting to stretch and move beyond it, which you are, just give it its due, right? Just honoring it. Everything likes respect. So thank you for doing your best to look after me. Sometimes, you know, we put on tension, right? We think that that's going to keep alert and scan and all that kind of stuff, right? All that animal stuff. So deep bow to it that we have it, but it ends up stressing the system out. And it's not a fun way to go through life.
Yet it's there for a purpose, because in a sense, we're all vulnerable and the world really truly isn't completely safe. And that kind of is something that I try to keep healthy. In other words, it's like boundaries. If you have healthy boundaries, you're safe, but you're free. But if
Good.
they're not,
Exactly. Beautiful. So let's put, because it's also like, let's not get carried away here, right? So as what's come now to your wonderful team here is healthy boundaries, right? So you don't want to, yes, we want to still remain practical here, right? As right timing and natural progression, connection, purpose, satisfaction, confidence, they come online in a greater way in you and in all of us. And also, let's maintain what that stress and survival stuff was about, right? The healthy version. The easier version in our body is healthy boundaries. So it doesn't have to be on all the time, but the healthiness. Yes, please. Good idea. Yeah, we like that. Deep bow to the old stuff, and there's an upgrade happening to healthy boundaries. Good idea. Love it. Beautiful.
and now to make it reality, I think I have to just let go within my particular structure that that the universe, that God has already created for me as an individual. Just let go and let it happen in a sense, but stay aware and like don't give up who I am, because it's okay.
Okay, good. So let go and let happen is now joining the team. Yes, please. Yes, please. You're welcome here too. Good idea. And just inviting again, they're all coming on and they're all stretching right into this space. So just let go, let it happen. And I think you said something along the lines like God has it. God has it structured.
Yeah, I think that's my thing. I that's my survival skill that keeps me like really balanced, or like I can't think of the word I'm trying to find, but it just keeps me from not tipping over and becoming just unable to cope. It's like
Well, some of the doom and gloom, right? So the criticism and the never good enough and the never right, all that habitual condition stuff, that your saving grace has been that connection with God, right? And I'm hearing too that your track, and many of us, I can relate to this myself personally, is to keep those healthy boundaries, etc. But to just really, oh yeah, there's a structure here. God's got that structure. Again, that grace is on the case, right? And I can let go and let it happen, as opposed to the survival stuff down here, these coping mechanisms and how they feel and what they do in the body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Softness happening of that trust fall of falling back into it. And that something good, in this case, God, has got it, has got that bigger design.
Yeah. That bigness is a really big thing for me, because it's like, if I didn't have that concept of bigger than me, why would I have faith in something smaller than me and weaker than me?
Yes, right. So yes, please, here emerges bigger, and bigger in a good way. Often when we're smaller and that conditioning comes because the stuff outside of us is bigger and it's, unpredictable, or it's got its own stuff going on, or they're, even bigger from that is impacting like world events and things. So now you're finding that feeling place of bigger, that's wise, that's intelligent. These would be my words. So which gives the faith, right? So yes, please to this, that sense of that bigger that one can fall into, and that's got it. And the faith that comes with feeling that, knowing that, touching that. Yes, please.
And now when I look back, I'm not resentful of some of the pain that was caused me because of whatever, if it's something I perceived as somebody doing something to me, or just the fact I didn't understand and I incurred pain. So now I can look back and I can see this whole history, and it seems like that is now okay, where I could have never said that before.
Wow. Yes, please. Just got goosebumps. Look back on history as okay. The pain. And there was another word you said and I missed it. Sorry, if you still have it, let me know. Regardless, we're just going to welcome this. Yes, please, to looking back on history as okay, right? That perspective, that vantage point, hard won vantage point. Wow. Yes, please. Good idea. We like that. And maybe just a deep bow to everything back there that got you to this point. Everything likes respect, everything likes honoring, played a role.
And now I can see that the purpose maybe, so now it really does make me stronger, because now it does have purpose and meaning. So what was confusing at different points along the journey, now in maturity, and now this many years or whatever have passed on my journey, it is like very empowering, because I see it as advantage instead of disadvantage.
Wow. Thank you. Gorgeous. Empowering. Advantage, not disadvantage. Yeah. Wow.
And I've done this like journey without very much help. I sort of I'm a very isolationist person in a sense. I like people, but I'm very much an introvert.
Mhm.
So this journey has been something I've had to, in a sense, draw most of my strength from that bigger concept of God.
Journey of self with God. Beautiful.
So it gives me kind of a story to tell, that you don't have to have a bunch of support from people if you have your journey in this kind of structure with God as your bigger reach. It's a bigger reality.
Yes, please, to bigger reality. Yep. So just yes, 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 yes to all of this, right? So this, I'll just do a path underneath here so we can see the progression. Like gray here. So we came here and then here. And then all of this here is kind of the, like the flowers.
Yeah, like the flowers, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it's like, okay. Yeah, it's just like though it's still an understanding at this point. I haven't got a concrete reality in my physical life. This is like in my mind mostly.
Ah, okay, good. So now let's go there. So deep, deep bow, two have shown up, mind, and now we want body and life. So deep bow to mind, because you have one and you're saying this has been more cognitive kind of understanding up to point. So all of us, I draw a little heart because our minds have such heart, right? They've, oops, let me get Norma in here. Didn't see her sitting there. 1 second. Okay. So mind always has heart. It's kind of like that survival stuff down here too, right? That it tries to think its way or do its way to keep us safe. And so with this journey of self with God, mind has been your trusty companion all the way through, right? And realizations can come through mind. So just deep bow, thank you to mind. And now there's a longing, right, for it to go just beyond an intellectual kind of understanding into an embodiment or into, I think you said body. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I know it's not like in the community body. It's not first in my own personal body. It's in the mind. It seems like it is sort of stopped at that point. It's
But
real.
what was that? It was pointing, right? Because there was a longing in that to move beyond just it being intellectual. What was your articulation of that? What was the longing that this has all got you to was deep out of the mind, and let's progress beyond that realization type to the next one?
Which would be maybe community, but that's sort of what I'm trying to realize by doing things like coming here today or going to my writing classes on Zoom or whatever. I'm trying to make it
I see.
reality.
Okay, and also this was journey of self with God. So now it's how about a journey with other selves, right? With community, like all with God. Yeah, yeah. So let's just put community with God instead of just the self, and just a deep bow to the self of being able to get there. But now there's the desire for community with God. So yes, please. Good idea. We like that.
Because I feel like it is somewhat of a waste if it's not shared.
Ah, okay, good. And then sharing. Yes, please.
But
So
then my
just,
own fear comes back to some degree.
yeah,
How much to share?
yeah.
How
So
much?
let's welcome the longing first, and then we'll go into the yaba, because that's going to be some personal history stuff to let rest. But just yes, please, with that community and to sharing. And then what's the yaba? What's the fear that comes up? Or the old conditioning, right? Something that's
Yeah,
been present up till now.
it won't be successful. It won't be successful. It won't be accepted. It will be put down. It won't be understood. I won't be understood. I won't fit in. I won't.
So to that, all that well covered terrain, do a bow and maybe even give it flowers or something.
Yeah.
And just see what happens as you just acknowledge it and you respect it and you give it flowers.
Yeah. Just accept it. It's like in that space that I accepted some of my other issues, that in the space that was made through meditation and so forth, then I had the ability to again look at it and be okay by accepting it, not try to fix it anymore, and
Right.
try to let go of it instead and accept it.
Yes. Yeah. And even honor it, right? That's what's happening with the flowers. And it could be anything else, right? That's just a shorthand, right? There might be something else that's more specific that you want to give it. And then also try, because my word for it is going to be orphans, right? But it's kind of younger parts, can be things in this life. It might even, extend to other existences, but just you just with that feminine energy to be able to just say, "Ah, come here," right? Come here, come here. Because some of those, you say, with the issues, some of it is going to be little kid stuff or teenage stuff or younger adult stuff or whatever in your journey. And from your now vantage point, especially connected with faith in God, you have that bigness to be able to comfort it, right? To be able to be with it and accepting it, and frankly, offering love, offering shelter. Yeah. Just see what happens as that big natural mother energy nurtures it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here. You're safe. You're safe. Yes, a bunch of that stuff did happen with other people. Sorry, sorry. And just tell it reruns, not necessary.
Yeah. It makes me then think, okay, maybe this is a blank page. Maybe I
Ah,
don't need to drag that forward.
good. Excellent. Yeah. So there's that blank page. And so just say, you're right. No need to drag forward. Leave it with me. Stay with me. And that might be a place to stay, to leave it. You've covered wonderful territory, Evelyn. What a beautiful inquiry. And just leaving it with the blank page, right? There's a new chapter to be written and drawn here.
Yeah, that's kind of a good place to be.
Yeah, a beautiful place. Goosebumps. Good idea. Yes, please. We like it. Thank you. And with the graphic, I just, I'll do a little puttering of it and Pat will send it to you directly. And it'll also go out in the cascade of the email. Folks are coming in. Hi, as people are coming in. The email got a little messed up today. So yeah. Evelyn, anything you want to say to complete?
I would just like to say thank you. And this is more than I expected. This is really beautiful for me to see and experience. And I guess because your group started rather small, I got this opportunity. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes, it was perfect. Yeah. Just check if mine wants to put a title on your inquiry here. Sometimes I'll get a title. It doesn't have to happen. We can leave it as it is, but just see if there's a natural title that wants to come onto the page.
My journey to healing.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, it's always perfect what happens. So thank you. I'm going to stop the share. Let me go take a look at my chat. Oh, thank you, Susan, for letting us know. Yeah, I know you've got technology on your end, so you're looking through various devices. And Jill's can relate to that too. Sorry for the delay. Hello, as you're coming in. Yeah, there was a goof on our end with a reminder not being programmed properly. I think Pat resent it out. So, and we've just had a beautiful inquiry with Evelyn, who's a first timer here. So that was just perfect. And you brought such gorgeous, boy, such gorgeous, palpable energy here. Thank you. And then after a piece of work that somebody has done, consciousness through the form of that person, all of us have the benefit of it. And then just seeing sometimes there's piggybacking that happens, which means that something that happened in Evelyn's inquiry may have connected with you, and then we can just use that as an entry point and boom, 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 keep going. Or it might be something totally unrelated that's now present and arising. So we'll just see what's here now, especially as we've had different people kind of come in. So welcome, welcome as you're coming in. And we had 10 minutes of meditation. We had a beautiful inquiry with Evelyn. And then we'll just see what's here now. And it might be another inquiry. I've got a whole whack of visual tools. So, and it's okay. That was just so gorgeous. And at a very spiritual level, that might be present, or it might be something very left brain, very practical, very doing oriented. That's here too. We welcome all of it. Yeah. Not that spirituality isn't practical, but you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to reassure the left brain it's welcome here too. Okay, sorry. One more nose blow is needed here. Any reports, those of you who are coming in, anything you want to share in your ongoing personal work and anything that's arising in your now?
I'm still flying under the radar.
Hello, under the radar. You are welcome here. Yes. And you have a new position too. Susan had reported she's had a wonderful job interview. So, and now are you planted in your new role? Yay.
Remote for the most part, but I mean, the world's opening up, but we're still, my supervisor, boss, whatever we go by, he's very supportive, and he's like, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you feel. Like on Tuesday, I was the only one in the department, in the office.
Wow.
So,
yeah. So a lot of people are just sticking close to home. Yeah. Yeah.
Or they'll do like, so my first day, like paperwork, people hadn't seen each other for 2 years.
Wow.
They were like, hello to each other. 2 years. That was their first day back. So
wow.
And I'm like, still flying under that radar. I'm very appreciative. That doesn't get lost on me. Working education.
So we're doing we've just done inquiries. So let's just do a yes, please to that. Yeah. Yes, please. We like that. And then also in that, like safety and camaraderie and support. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. Support. You are welcome here. Yeah.
Yep. You're welcome here. Yep.
Good to hear. Yay. And just all that. It's some people I know here are like that too. They've been tucked away for several years, and others have been out and about all through it. Yeah. Jill, I see have you ever encountered a vow of silence in terms of bringing forward spiritual work, this practical spiritual work that you mentioned? I have encountered vows of silence for people for when they go to not be silent in the world. Vows of silence kick in. So they're kind of like yeah buts or something to be worked through. I think you might be the other side of it, right? Which is like honoring or respect. Sometimes it's people go into, which is happening now for me, like into a deeper retreat, right? And often the retreat has solitude and quiet with it. What do you mean by it? Let's bring you on. What's present?
Well, what perked up when you said practical spiritual work, and so as I'm developing my work in the world, and there's a spiritual creative component to it, but there seems to be a block around being seen as a spiritual person doing practical work in the world. And so when I you know, when I listen to you say that, and when I'm looking at what I'm wanting to bring forward, there is this fear and hesitation, and when I say it out loud, I just get this like real pulsing in my head. And so one of the things that I wrote at the beginning was clearing some sort of vow of silence, and that like to respect it, like at certain points in our history, it was important to keep this sacred knowledge away from the public, I suppose, but now it just seems really important to have more and more people awakening to their soul and to their higher spiritual gifts and things like this.
Yeah, Evelyn's responding and agreeing here. So let me just talk to the practicality thing first, right? This is more of a left brain to our minds. Sometimes what happens when we're starting to encounter, and we saw this with Evelyn, when we start to poke into things that are new or less familiar than the conditioned kind of way that we've been previously, there can be different kinds of hesitations. One of those hesitations can be around practicality, right? So I have this one a lot because as I expand more with the Kundalini and then the consciousness stuff, right? Some of the conditioning around consciousness or around spirituality is like, you merge, and which is all a good thing. But we still have to operate in the world, some of us, right? Modern day sages, we have to operate in the world and go to jobs and handle all the money, whatever state the financial system is in, right? And all that. So something that helps soften that or balance that is adding in practicality, right? So as spiritual, as whatever it is that's expanding of a spiritual nature, if there's a yeah but from the personality world self about hey, I still need to operate in the world here, thank you very much, that you also throw into the ingredients practicality, right? Like sometimes it's our conditioning thinks it's either or, right? So adding in the yes and can be an epiphany, right? Same thing, we've been quite a bit with you with visibility, right? And for you, because your role and function requires you to be more visible, we're wanting to add in, visibility and safety, and visibility and money, right? So, but for some people, we want to actually bring in invisibility. So if their subtle energy field and their spiritual stuff gets bigger, there can be personal and ancestral and collective yeah buts that come up about that's dangerous. So invisibility can be something that you can add into the yes and, right? So you can have this huge, big, Evelyn's got big in there, and that was that feeling of something outside oneself that's big and benevolent, right? That we can kind of fall back in and trust and have faith with. For her, the term God, I can certainly relate to that. I don't have a problem with that term myself. I love that. Now I'm just kind of losing my train as I get into God and bigness. I lose myself in the feel of it, but hopefully I answered your question enough on that side of it, right? About what's happening, why practicality raised in there. And sometimes I'm not correct, right? There might be a different kind of nuance, but practicality is close enough in the region that it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, practicality, like day-to-day health and well-being and daily habits, all of these types of things. That's what I think of
Yep.
when you say practicality. And I also appreciate you voicing that thing, the visibility and safety, visibility and money, you know, so what I'm hearing is like an invitation to bring the yes and to kind of balance them.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, because this stuff within us, this stuff in consciousness, right? Because we're operating at different levels here, right? There's it within us and then it outside of us. Ultimately, it is all one. So it's operating at different levels, but it's just a reminder. It's a reminder to within the system and to the larger system that it doesn't have to be so black and white. Right. And that historically, for us as a human being or in our family lineages or in the human species at large, things have only been able to be a certain way. Right. But now it's times are different. Right. And we're on the evolutionary edge. So now we can start having these ands where historically it hasn't been possible. Yeah. And that can be like, whoa, what a concept, right? To go, oh, I don't have to have it so black and white either, or, you know, it can be a combo. And then it becomes, yes, please. Like, then it's safe to really unfold and expand and liberate into that because it's yummy, right? As opposed to, ooh, a little scary. Yeah.
So we're expanding into this whole new level of, I want to say, like grounded spirituality, practical spirituality that is useful in a day-to-day life.
Well, for you, so right now we're working through the form of you, and I relate to what your form's saying a lot too, right? So I just, okay, if everybody's not into spirituality here, most are, and I even see Evelyn's comments here in the Ning. Even the job as therapist sage isn't the concern. The system is evolving too. Yes. Yeah. So operating at those different levels. Yeah. So for you, so you're resonating. So I would just own it and say, yes. Yeah, you're resonating with that. That's working for you. That's an indication that that's for you and your path and your journey, you know, a next incremental movement to what suits you and your path.
Yes. And there's also a relationship between that and my work life and my public life. So like grounded spirituality.
Just say yes, please to that, because not everybody's going to have the function, right? Like you and I think many of you are in different kinds of roles, right? So now it's moving not just to personal spirituality, but somehow these values or essences finding themselves into how you perform your function in the world, your role in the world. So that's just a yes, please to that. Good idea. You know, if that feels good to you, does to me, then yes, please, that's allowed. Combo, both personal and professional.
But there is a sense of it being unknown because it is new. And like you were saying, these types of ways of being in the world, these are new.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. New for you and new for many. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And not so new for some. but I would say yes, probably the degrees of it is larger than it's ever had. The potentiality is larger than it ever has. You know, Maslow's needs, right? So a lot of Maslow stuff has gotten taken care of. It's privilege. So with having those safety needs, that's a privilege to be able to unfold into what you're talking about. Yes, please. A lot of human beings now and in the past have not had that opportunity. How lucky are we?
I feel like many of us don't have to hide as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've always kind of been, you know, you hate to use woo-woo or witchy or, you know, but we've always kind of been here. And now as some of these roles are becoming more visible and accepting. But I've always related to your things, Christina, for over a decade now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like, oh, now I can introduce you to Christina. So it's not like
Right. Hidden secret. Yeah.
Mhm.
How's that landing in your field, Jill? Because even though I don't have the tablet up, we're actually doing inquiry with you, right? And it's unfolding in layers here. So now what's the next layer that's showing itself?
Well, what I want to acknowledge is the privilege that you're talking about. So, like, acknowledging that I have enough safety
Yeah.
to merge with this higher consciousness. I have the space, I have the resources, I have the comfort, I have the
Time.
food,
Yeah.
and all of these things that many people don't have. So
Yes.
and I don't have to like
Just
I
do
don't
a
have to
thing.
feel
Just do.
ashamed. I don't have
No,
to
no,
feel
no, no. Yeah,
ashamed
yeah,
of
yeah.
that.
So do a thank you. Do a thank you first for all those blessings. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, please. What an incredible configuration of components to lead to your now, right? And to all,
Yeah.
probably most people who, everybody who's here, to our now, like, wow, right?
Mhm.
Probably if you're into past lives, future lives, whatever, like, boy, all those conditions probably didn't happen a whole lot of times, right? So, and for our ancestors, right? So it's like, whoa, like, talk about a confluence of components, right? So just gratitude and appreciation, and that'll be the antidote to some of the, the shame or the concern, right? So just deep appreciation and recognition of the fortune that you're blessed with.
Mhm.
And for all beings, right? You can even go further, like, may that be for everybody. This luckiness that I'm having, may that be for everybody, or those who care to have it, right? Because it's mixed with spirituality, so that might not be everybody's thing. That's, to each their own. But to anybody
Yeah.
who wants to have conditions to be able to, work with this kind of stuff, may you have it.
Mhm.
So you're not hoarding it, right? Or there's not that
Mhm.
guilt, or, it's luck of the draw, all those kind of things. You know, may you have that too, right? And then if you're going to go spiritual too, you can feel the polarities there, right? Is you'll also want to recognize the times in your life, the times that your ancestors did not. If you're into going the past life, the times in past lives you did not have this too. So you've been on the other side of the coin too, right? So yes, and for the times of fortune, for the times of unfortune,
Mhm.
for the times of privilege, for the times of discrimination.
Mhm. Well, it definitely feels like some sort of confluence of timelines and incarnations and other selves. Like it is big. It's beyond even my concept of privilege or of
Yeah.
power or of inheritance and all these things that we're kind of struggling with in our world now, race and power and energy and time and all these things that are really like so constrictive in so many ways.
Well, just go
And
with the bigness. Your mind's getting in there. So kiss the mind, right, for its thing, and go with the bigness. This is on the heels of the bigness Evelyn was tapping into. So it is bigger, right? Again, now you're going up, right, in levels. So it's like, whoa. And you often do in your acquire. So you're going there again, transcending, going above the personal history, the ancestral history, the group history, humanity stuff. And now you're going big. So go into that bigness. Yes, please.
yeah.
And there might be yeah buts that come up, because often when we encounter that big stuff, that's when the various yeah buts can come up too. Or maybe you might not have those. So just go with the bigness.
Well, it's It's the divine feminine. It's the mother God. It's the feminine God.
Yeah, so go with that because the mind understandably challenges, and those are great labels. Those are labels that we have in our nowadays world, and just bow to the mind with wanting to label it and even go beyond the labels. Just agree with all of them. And yeah, that's our attempt to label this stuff. Let's go deeper into this. Yes. It doesn't look like any yeah buts are happening. So I would say just stay there, Jill.
Okay.
We'll leave you there. Yes, please. And you're doing it on the behalf of all of us and humanity. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah, good. Radiate, transmit that. Yeah. Well, she's just doing that amazing thing. Now we come back. So what's going on with the rest of us here? And anybody else who can get a whiff of that, and you're there too, go there. Be there. Yeah. And wonderful comments. Yes to sisterhood. Yes to acknowledgement. Yes to awareness for all. And yes to that transcending gender. Yeah. And the bigness. Yes. And to real. Yes, please. Yeah, we just come back and anything's welcome. So you might be piggybacking off of Evelyn and Jill. We're on quite the roll. Might be something more mundane, more practical. So what's here now? Norma, anything landing with you? Anything you want to say? Hi, nice to see you drop by this container. Yeah.
Hi, thank you. It's the first time I've been into one of your pop-ups, Christina, and wow, it's really moved me. Evelyn, your inquiry, I wish I would have been there for the beginning of it because it resonated so much with me. And this last couple of years has been a real challenge in many different levels, and I just feel like I've just landed. So
Yes,
yeah.
please.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
landing
you.
is welcome. Yeah. And community and landing. Yeah. Oh, nice, Norma.
Thank you.
Yeah. The power of doing that beautiful work in community, Evelyn. Look at the impact. Yeah.
Mm,
I am glad to hear that it was something that is helpful.
very much so.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's good to know somebody else is going through it. And
Yes.
it can be a different journey, but it is the same in many ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we truly are all one. Yeah.
I'm going to bring up the tablet and we can just meet what's here and we'll just see how it unfolds through the form of you, Norma, for your game.
Sure.
Okay. Let me just bring this up. I'm going to save Evelyn's. Bring up a new one. Do you have a particular color you like?
Geez, no, I love all colors, pretty much bright colors.
Okay, why don't I go with a,
Oh dear.
you okay with the violet?
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds great.
let's do that. And any writing color on top? Whoops.
No, it doesn't matter. It's all good.
Okay. Oh, I like to put the writing choices on to other people. Sometimes you'll come up with combos I never do, right? So it's like, oh, I like that combo. I'll have to remember that. Yeah.
Hot
Okay.
pink.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
let's do
Karima,
that.
you said the same thing.
Did you say hot pink too?
Oh,
Yeah.
she said
Okay.
dark pink. Yeah, that's
Okay.
dark
Okay.
pink. Yeah.
I got one pink here, so I'll go with that pink. Yeah. Okay. So first we're gonna do is just meet, right? This is my shorthand for a bunch of things that were already said. So I just kind of draw a cloud, and these are like little bullets of information. So
Well, I can't really see that.
yeah. Let me maybe I'll just go to a gray or black on top here. Yeah, so it's just bullet points, right? So it's just a way of shorthand welcoming everything you've just said. And so I'm just going to throw on the coffee table different phrases, right? And then it's going to impact all of our systems at the same time. But I'm particularly working with you right now, drawing out what's happening with you. So we want to know how those phrases hit your system. So the phrase here is just "you are welcome here." Hey, all that stuff that you just said. Beautiful. And not just words, but energy and emotion.
Yeah.
It's all welcome. Hello, you are welcome here. That delicious resonance and impact that Evelyn and Jill's work and what's happening here in the satsang has had on you. Welcome, welcome. Yes, please. And then just see what's most present now. It kind of arises, right? In consciousness, things arise and we meet them, and then something else happens. So just see what's present here now. Most present.
Oh, what's most present for me at this moment is how I haven't felt welcome the last couple of years.
And sadness with that. Yeah. So just welcome the sadness. Yeah. A lot of us can relate to that. Yeah. That sadness of not welcomed. And even just put your subtle energy arms around that sadness. Just kind of hold it and agree with it. You're right. We don't like it. No, thank you. It's a very difficult thing not to be welcomed. We don't want to rush it, so just take your time, right? With just being with that sadness. Often the sadness is one of the biggies in the human emotions, right? So, and human beings tend to do various things. I don't know what you do, but human beings tend to do various things when sadness shows up, right? Like everything but meeting it. So we're actually going to do meeting it, right? So as sadness comes in, I always feel these things like big monoliths, right? Like boom, it's just arrived. So you just kind of come up to that big monolith, right? And just be with it. And sometimes with these biggies, because they like respect, it's like almost like there's an altar at it. You're not going to lay yourself on that altar, but you're gonna just whatever's right for you. I said flowers earlier with Evelyn, because that can be a universal one, right? Maybe you give sadness flowers, or you give it incense or oranges or something. You'll find what's right for you. What do you give sadness?
Oh, I'll give sadness a beautiful bouquet of flowers.
Yes, please. Okay. So giving those beautiful flowers to sadness, and just see what happens, because most people don't give it flowers. What happens when it gives you give it flowers?
What I'm hearing is music.
Oh,
Yeah.
it receives your gift with another one. How nice. So hello, music. You are welcome here.
I guess it's the beauty of accepting.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yeah. Right now, there's a whole lot. I mean, this whole time period, right? All the different layers of accepting and things we don't like and wouldn't prefer not to have to experience. But when we accept them, there actually is a beauty in that. You're feeling that beauty of accepting the sadness. And it responds back with music. Beautiful. And just see what happens. That might be enough just in and of itself, but just see if what happens from here. Now what's showing itself? There might be yabas, there might be something that kicks in, or you might just be able to.
Oh, no, I just got an incredible sense of calm, just,
Yes, please.
yeah, please.
Yeah. Boy, do we need incredible calm, right? So this is the beauty of doing this kind of work individually and collectively, especially in the midst where there's not a lot of calm. What do you know? Norma here in Victoria is able to tap into incredible calm. Yes, please. Yeah. So hello, incredible calm. You are welcome. And just really feel it and just invite it to stretch. Like calm has not, it's been tucked away, right? So now some room's been made. So now it can kind of come out, right? Like a little hermit crab, it can kind of come out into the larger ocean. So just hello, calm. Hey, you can take up more room if you'd like. Stretch. And it'll know how. These are consciousness is so wise, right? So just as you give it that invitation to enlarge, to stretch out, to claim more space, anything you notice, does it go up? Does it go down? Does it go out?
It goes, it expands, and then I have a thought and it squishes down. And
yes, okay, good. Go with
and
it. So let's so go with the thought, because that's like what I say, yeah, but, right? So there's a yeah, but, and because you
Yeah.
said thought, we know there's mind, so I'm just going to draw my little bubble for mind, right? It's supposed to be like a brain here, and we always want to love the mind, because it's kind of like the sometimes it can get to be like the pissy bureaucrat. The manager upstairs, right? Because it often has a clipboard because it's got like a schedule and the doer. So, but that's all pure love. It's really in service, right? Just like a good government bureaucrat is in service too, right? Yeah. So hello mind, because you came up here, the incredible calm was expanding and the manager got in there. And we want to love that manager. And then what was the manager's kind of yabba? What was it? Kibosh on the calm.
Oh gosh, there's so many yeah buts. I guess what it is there's this incredible calm, and then something else comes in. And
yes. Okay. Let's
just,
go with that, because that's certainly been the pattern this couple of years too, and it's certainly it's personal and it's collective, right? So and that's kind of life, right? Something else comes in, so let's just bring that in. Something else comes in, and just agree you don't like that.
Yeah.
Human beings, we would prefer just to be baked in an ocean of calm, please. So when something else, whatever that form might be, comes in, just agree, no, thank you. You're right. We don't like it. There's a natural aversion, and we want to give respect to the aversion too, right?
yeah.
Welcoming it all. So even that stuff that comes in that we don't like, that we haven't wanting to repel it or push it away or ignore it or whatever it might be, we're just welcoming that tendency. And I'll just draw it like sticks or stones or something, stones plopping in here, right? All these various, something else comes in as the counter to this incredible calm that's expanding here. And then just see what happens as you welcome, something else coming in. And we can also kind of tickle this a little bit to say that, hey, inviting incredible calm, if incredible calm gets big enough, even if these meteorites come into its field, you know, it doesn't really impact it. So just, hey, calm, you can even get bigger. You can get bigger. See what happens as it gets bigger, even though these things come in like a little meteorite storm. But when it's bigger, right, it's changing the perspective, right? Is it, whoa, instead of it being small and them being huge, it gets big and they become small.
Right, right.
Smaller anyway. So just see what happens when I do that.
Well, my sense of calm comes back again and inner peace.
Yeah, okay, good. Now inner peace has shown up too to satsang. Yes, please, inner peace. Okay, great. You are welcome here, inner peace. Yeah, sometimes we think these things are puny, right? And they're actually not. They're powerhouses in their own right. But a lot of our conditioning gets set when we're kids, when we literally are small. And so that becomes like our go-to, and we forget, oh, you know, we've grown up and we're adults, right? There's that level of bigness. But then also there's more to the human being than just their body, right? So this inner peace and calm stuff, they can be very big, those fields, right? Very, very big. So anyway, let's just go back to that bigness of that field and reminding it that it's not a little kid and it's not just a puny human. We're back to the spiritual theme that's been here in satsang, right? Like that big, our subtle energy fields. Whoa, let's everybody. Auras up, right? And I see your yeah, what happened? Yeah, go ahead. What happened?
Well, last week, I honestly felt, beam me up, Scotty, I've had enough. And today, that just now that thought came in, but it was like, beam me up, Scotty, right? So it went from this place of incredible squashness to expansion.
Yeah, so you can actually beam up but still stay here, right? Like it's
Yeah.
like the field. So not only I'm drawing it like the field expanding, right? Like, whoa, let's beam me up right here, like
Yeah.
radiance, right? Beaming up your aura. Yes,
Yeah.
please. Good idea. Yes, beam me up. You are welcome here. Yeah. And that's, you know, we left Jill grokking there in her version of it. Now you're finding yours. Yeah. And all of us through the form of you. Yes, please. Good idea. Beam me up.
Yeah.
Upping that vibe, upping that resonance, that frequency, that transmission. That's our greatest gift during times like this. And we can impact the whole, right? And that is welcome here.
Yeah.
Just see how the mind's doing. I've been talking in mind ways too, so I think it's understanding the value of this. Does it have any yeah buts? The manager up there?
No.
No. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, then you ask that, and then there's a yeah, but it's
Okay.
good in this moment.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah. 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 So
Maybe
to
that's all
the
there are.
yeah. So to the mind, that we'll go there too, that it can expand beyond just this moment. But you know, it happening in this moment is no small beans either, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yay, that it's happening in this moment.
Yeah.
Right. Yay, back to privilege, right? Because a lot of people
Yeah.
never get moments. So yay, we're getting a moment here. And it's not just for you, but it's for everybody here. So it's exponential than it usually is for one person having a moment.
Yeah.
So like, hey, mind, don't discount that. Moments are worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
And let's also introduce the, there's a longing for more moments. right? There's a longing for presence, right? That
Yeah.
it show up more. So just a deep bow to that longing and an invitation. You are welcome here. And even a now, right? Because sometimes we think these things have to be put off, but no, actually, there doesn't have to be any blocks. It can reside. It can take up more space.
Yeah.
You're actually inviting the longing to inhabit and become actualized.
Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you.
Just see what happened with that invitation to inhabit more moments.
No, what's resonating with me is community.
Ah, yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah, yeah, not alone, with.
Yeah.
So all of us together with our moment here that you're helping us have. You are bringing it to satsang. Yeah. Yes, please, to community. Yes, please, being in it, truly in it together. Yeah. Aw, thank you, Norma. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And your bowls behind you, they're just, the tones, right? I can almost hear them toning. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming. Yeah. You're in my crypto course. Now you get both balances. Practical and practical. Yeah.
This is beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you. Beauty. Let's
Well,
do
so
beauty.
much.
Yes, please, beauty. Beauty, beautiful. You are welcome here. Yeah. You're beautiful. Thank you.
Wow.
Just grok in that, just radiate in that, right? Beam that out. Yeah.
Sorry, can I just say thanks, Norma, for being brave enough to share that with us? Yeah, don't forget how big calm can be.
Thank you so much.
Would you like a title on your inquiry notes here? If so, it's a good job for the mind.
What love is.
Ooh, beautiful. I love doing the titles. I used to do titles myself and afterwards and just fret over it. So I finally figured out, well, just ask the person to title it, right? And then consciousness does the beautiful title, What Love Is. Yes, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you so much. Wow. It's beautiful.
It gives a little memento, right? The map is never the territory, but the territory is inside of you and all of us. So it's just a little memento to evoke the territory. Oh yeah, boom. We're back in satsang with Norma. Woo, that felt good. Now I'm back in it. Yeah. Notes can be helpful that way. Okay, I'm just going to stop that. We usually go for 2 hours, so I'm just going to look at, yeah, we've got about 15 minutes, and maybe we'll just pass around the mic and just do some closing thoughts here. And any shares that want to happen as we do that. It's not necessary, you know, it's not mandatory, but if you care to, we'll do that. And I'll just do it popcorn style, which means whatever natural order wants to happen. Pop, pop. Yeah.
I will start by saying thank you. Again, thank you, Christina, for making it possible. Also for the sharing that we've heard and the fact that I got to share. this connection that was able to happen because we all showed up, and for whatever value that it is to each one of us, I do pray that it is really valuable, and I know it's been valuable to me. And so again, thank you. And yeah, life can be really hard, and so sometimes trying to be positive and not negative can kind of be an end. You can only go so far being positive, and maybe these are the things that are necessary.
We got to
then,
meet the negative. Yeah, that's how we get to it. Yeah.
so that we can all be real and
Yeah.
more real, so that we can actually grow. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for finding your way here today. Awesome. That's how we get to the good part, says Karima. Yeah, it's the treasure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I also appreciated the chat between Karima and Evelyn. Lots of good thoughts in there. We don't usually have much in the chat, but that was good. Thanks. Yeah, this was a good session. I'm glad I dropped by. I was happy. I was honored to hold the container for you and to
Thank
learn
you.
from you. Yeah.
Thank you, Susan. Beautiful to have you here. Yeah.
Thanks, Christina, and everybody, the group. What a beautiful field. I can feel the shifts and changes, and just honoring each one of you wherever you are in the world, whatever's going on with your process, whatever's arising for you. It's so liberating to know that we can welcome all of the experiences and be held and not judge ourselves for being human beings in a pretty chaotic world. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you, Jill. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your beaming. You're connecting and beaming of that.
I'll say thank you. Thank you just for sharing. I know I popped in a little late. I'm glad I saw the email and had time. And so thank you. It was, it felt warm today. That would be the word to describe the sessions today. It felt very warm and welcoming. And even through maybe the kind of like the trials and tribulations that one may feel, it still felt very warm and welcoming.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Thanks for coming, Karima. Yeah. Popping in the midst of your day. It's nice.
It is nice. Thank you.
I echo the thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. I will say that too. So I can't remember which number we are. These are called the Process Pop-Up, and I started it when the pandemic first kind of swept into North America. I think it's number 43 or something. Yeah, something around those lines. When Pat sends out what will happen after here, there's a recording and there's the maps that I created with you. So Pat will send those out. You're on the list for the Process Pop-Up, and that you got yourself here, you know that what happens is I just figure out intuitively from here when the next one will be. It averages usually about every 3 weeks or so. And so you'll receive in the follow-up note when the next one will be. And then there will be reminders as we're coming up to that date. And hopefully the day of reminder will happen next time. There's a little glitch on the one today. And I'll probably be changing the name from Process Pop-Up to Visual Sought Song. I have a private Visual Sought Song. This will be the public Visual Sought Song. And what's happening today was certainly indicative of that, right? So that the range and the nature of where we traveled together was beautiful, and that's very song nature. So you'll be seeing some announcements from me probably about the change. A couple of my other courses, just given the swirl of what's happening, probably aren't flying this season, which creates space for me. And then as soon as I started to feel that space, I got all these instructions like, hey, change the name of the process pop-up, and hey, do this on your website, and blah, blah, blah. So now I've got all these directions I'm kind of following. I'm like, so much for a break. But it's nice to do the things are morphing, so it's nice to attend to the morph, right? So some of the languaging of things and some of the representation on the website and stuff will be shifting as I continue to shift. Let me see if there's anything else to share. One of the courses we'll see that does continue to fly, I think, will be the sketch club. So if anybody's interested in fast and loose sketching, I have a partner, Rhoda Draws, who's down in San Miguel Allende, Mexico. We ran in-person things together, but have not been able to do that for a couple of years. So we've now segued it to online. So the sketch club is coming up mid-April. And you'll see different notes and emails coming up about that. But I hope that will gel and find its group and fly, because it's very meditative in its own way to come together and sketch together over time.
Is there a requirement for the course?
Nope, nope,
That-
no prerequisites. Yeah, nope, come as you are on
Prerequisite.
that one. Yeah, it's kind of like a mini design school, art school. And so for people who've already been through art school, it's letting go of some of those things that you do. And then for folks who didn't, like a lot of us who are in the graphic recording, graphic facilitation field, myself included, never actually went to art school, even though we work in a very creative way. So we can fill some of those gaps. And Rhoda's just turned 80 this year. She's amazing. She's an inspiration in and of herself with her art, and she continues to evolve as all wonderful artists do. So she's really adapted to the iPad and Procreate drawing program, in addition to, you know, the analog method. So we cover both. We cover both analog and digital in there. And it kind of for people who are working in, you know, like paint mediums, the reports have been that it actually speeds up. If you're wanting to get quicker, it speeds up your painting medium. For those with GRGF, what she's doing is actually, even though it's called fast and loose, it's a little slower than what we're able to do spontaneously. So it's really good for our studio work. A lot of the work right now, because it's been forced online, is going studio work. Graphic recording is pretty much morphed into studio work. It's so we have more time. So what she's teaching helps with the more time that we have in the field. I do a lot of spontaneous work still, right? What we're doing one-to-one here today was spontaneous. So even taking the fast and loose, even though I might not have the same amount of time, it impacts my drawing abilities and my sketching abilities. So like a lot of my courses with my co-hosts, you know, I'm selfishly building courses that I benefit from, right? Like it helps me. I think we're on our 5th one. So every time I host it and take it, I you know, do my own sketching, and it works its way into my work in multiple ways. Yeah. So that's that. Hopefully we'll see you in another drop-in. They're you know, the dates get set. They're different every time. So who comes, it's a different combination of people. What's going on in the world and what's up for you in your process is different. So that's the fun of it too, is like, what's it going to be today? So that's what it was for us today. So thank you very much for the co-creation, and just wish you all the best during these hectic, amazing, transformational times, right? And just, we had such a nice tap into the bigness, right? That helps us get that perspective to have faith during these times. So I thank everybody for those realizations today. Were really beautiful. Thank you. To be continued. Yeah, take good care. Bye.